with Brad, and excited to be here and preach the AcquireFi some. So everyone here, and thanks for helping me.
I think you're having a bit of connections issues. I did make out what you said though, but I don't know if it's me or you, but I think you're having connection issues. So that's fine. I have a few questions that I prepared that I would like to ask. So I think now would be a good time. So with AcquireFi, how I kind of understand it is it's essentially an open, decentralized marketplace people who have general crypto products to sell these products and sell these services on a marketplace that gives them exposure, both exposure to potential buyers, but also potential users of this service once it is bought by maybe a venture capitalist group, maybe a larger development team with a greater network. You'll be providing a platform to sell everything from crypto domains to fully working protocols to crypto groups such as like large crypto promotion groups. Is this are these the kind of deals that you see being made on your platform? Things like bridges, maybe crypto domains, this kind of thing. Is this?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, the technology that we're going to be showing here is going to be pretty much native in crypto, blockchain, DeFi, and Web3 companies and IP. So these are the kind of projects where, for all kinds of reasons, they're seeking capital or to be acquired. And it's going to be the only place that exists right now. That's part of the AcquireFi story, is that there is nowhere for crypto company owners and creators and DApp owners that they can go and list their company for sale, see what it's worth, see who would acquire it. And that's one of the things that we're looking forward to kicking off as the platform grows. And then, yeah, the different investment opportunities of what you can buy and what is going to be listed for sale will be everything from traditional profitable companies that you can acquire with crypto, add to your portfolio, crypto companies and IP, whether it's profitable or not, like you're saying, communities. So look at from an outside traditional M&A scenario, people making crypto entry into business. The fastest way to enter with your business would be to go buy what you're looking for. If you're looking at accept payments for your business, or you want to cross-chain yield aggregator and add that to your service offering and go Web3, the AcquireFi will be a place where these kinds of investors, businesses can go and shop and look at what's available and put together a portfolio. And the final part is that the fractionalized ownership is something that NFTs and digital asset classes and the blockchain bring. And it's not really something that AcquireFi so much is like creating, but what we're doing with it. So we're going to be able to bring investment crowdfunding options to people that can go out and put together their money and acquire some big businesses and really lucrative deals that might not be available otherwise. It'll be something really new and brand new for people.
I think something to mention here is that there's a couple of companies are doing this in Web2. That's Empire Flippers and Flippa. And their volume yearly is $400 million and over $1 billion. So that's a huge gap there overall. And what we're seeing at the moment in this downturn is that there's a lot of founders coming to us and be like, hey, we made quite a lot of money during bull run. And we have this different, usually they have two different projects, which is quite astonishing. And they want to sell one of them. And basically, during the bull run, there was a lot of traditional finance people and VCs that were sitting on the sideline, and especially Web2 companies. They were wanting to come into the space, but the valuations were absolutely insane. So what's happening now is that these people that were on the sideline, for example, VCs, and Web 2 companies, they're actually starting to come to us and be like, hey, we want to buy XYZ. And as a founder, I think that's a very helpful thing, because before, if you wanted to sell your company, probably Forex, yourself, you have to go to a tier 1 VC, and even to know a tier 1 VC is very hard in the space. uh, it's absolutely also very hard to get traction and basically list your project anonymously, which is very important also when you do M&A. So there's different factors that we're trying to solve. And then what Brad said with fractional ownership, it's very important that you diversify. Like it's always good to have blue chip stocks and blue chip crypto, but you need to have hard assets also, which we're trying to bring on.
Yes. So I know from experience that there are a lot of great devs out there, especially people that are more on the coding, writing scripts side, writing contracts, and a lot of them don't have a network, or they have a very small network that really can't get traction, as you say, and giving them a platform to be able to put their product or their work up to a wider audience and get the kind of exposure that they need to make money as a developer, so they don't need to be a developer, a marketer, a community manager, have their complete network in the space. I think that's going to be big, and that's something that traditional market has that really DeFi has not picked up yet. And as you said, there's projects like Flippa or companies like Flippa that are providing this for Web 2 that aren't stepping up for Web 3. So I think it's great that you guys are doing this, and if anybody can get it done, I think that your team is going to be the team to do it. So it's very exciting to me. So another question I have is about the AcquireFi token itself. Why would I understand the value of the platform. People are able to sell their products and services. They're able to get exposure on the platform, and get access to deal flow and a more liquid market. But why would someone want to hold and specifically invest in the AcquireFi token, and what advantages would they have to getting into the pre-sale?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great one for everybody to come out with this and discuss it. So check it out. Everyone can understand, like, there's always a short-term advantage to getting in early, and this doesn't have to go into too much detail about the benefits of this, but why are we going to be a holder, and what is the benefit here? And the tokenomics, if you guys have looked into the deck and seen some of the documentation, we're going to have an incentive by buyback and burn mechanisms that'll be tied to the success of the business in some fashion. So we're going to dedicate an amount of the success of the deal flow volume as we're transactions, and reward the community through buybacks and burns. So as every deal goes through the system and we reward the community through a buyback or incentivize people through the buyback that remain holders, we'll be able to be giving people an added benefit there with the token price. As far as like staking and putting your tokens on the platform, that's how you access the deal flow. So everyone from tier 1, which is like 100 token stake, it's very low entry, barrier to entry, all the way up to tier 5, which is the exclusive backstage pass to deals that aren't published. That's going to be direct Telegram access to some really sexy stuff that's not on the Telegram deal flow or on the website at all. So there's various levels, and as you go up in the tiers, you get rewarded by additional governance rights, reduction in fees for listing businesses on the platform, broker fees, and all the way up to private access. And the higher up the tiers, you'll have access to more deals and bigger ticket sizes of those deals as well, as far as growing your portfolio with various types of investments. Some of the cool investments that we do have some like luxury items that we're crowdfunding and really cool projects we're putting together. and that'll be probably up into tier 2 or tier 3 all the way up. So there are going to be benefits to holding, and there'll be benefits to holding longer too. So we have incentives built in so that we're able to reward our token holders for how long they're there, and how long or how much engagement they have with the company and the project. And there'll be a couple other things as well people can earn. We have a due diligence DAO, so we're able to take a due diligence process and let people participate if they're SMEs, and become part of the M&A journey on some of these things. And they'll be earning tokens, being rewarded for their participation. And so will liquidity providers. So they'll be able to earn the Acquire token and be stacking those.
Yeah, also
Okay,
we would like to build eventually a DAO, and that DAO would start basically buying out different businesses. And as a token holder and as a founder, I have to say, like, if we are the first platform there that gets all this deal flow, that means we have alpha. And what we do with the alpha is basically we give alpha to our different tiers. But eventually with the DAO that we're starting to build at some point, we're going to buy different businesses out. And I think something Forex eventually you will start doing with your own DAO is to start basically buying more verticals into your DAO. This could be anything from a launch pad. This could be anything from whatever you can imagine. You can basically buy it out, and I think that's how you grow your DAO eventually into a bigger atmosphere. And there's actually quite like different communities also on sale at the moment, and it's more about like how do you implement those buyouts to your own community. That's the big question. But I think we're gonna see a lot of DAOs coming to us and be like, "Hey, we want to buy XYZ," and that's very important.
Yeah, I am constantly on the lookout for developers that have good ideas, that have projects that they're preparing to launch and looking to buy them out. There's a developer right now that's working on a privacy protocol that I believe is significantly better than any of the existing privacy models. He has a very small community. His tech looks pretty good, and I'm in the process of trying to buy that tech off of him essentially, and implement it into my ecosystem, but also serve greater DeFi to to deploy it on multiple chains. It of course provides a benefit to my products and my ecosystem because it gives a privacy mechanic to them, but it's something that can be deployed on all of the EVM compatible networks. So I'm constantly contacting other developers. I bought a game, a DeFi game, completely built just about 8 months ago that I want to eventually deploy. So for sure, having a place where people like me will be able to go and find developers that have good products that we can buy and take them to the next level, take them, put them on a platform where people will actually use them is something that I'm very interested in. I know, if I'm interested in it, there has to be a ton of other people that are. So that's huge.
No, for sure. I think I have to say one thing. With the investment pools, think about it like this also. If you have a project that needs outside funding or you want to get more eyes, that's basically what we're trying to do with the investment pools. We're trying to basically bring in investment opportunities to our community where other founders can be like, hey, I have this massive idea, or I want to sell a part of my equity and raise money. Like, come to us. We will happily introduce this to the community, and basically that will help your community to grow. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you there.
Oh yeah, and I was just going to say that I think that the fact that AcquireFi will be acquiring some percentage of kind of the cream of the crop on your platform, and then allowing holders of the AcquireFi token to either stake or be part of a DAO that essentially gives them share ownership of what you would kind of consider the cream of the crop businesses that flow through your platform is what I would be most excited about as an AcquireFi token holder. I think that you have a team that will be able to to seek value and realize value, and giving a kind of pseudo automated kind of service there, where you're kind of finding value for the investors through purchasing these products and services or platforms, and then giving exposure to the stakers through your DAO or your staking model, to me is more exciting than the other cash flows, the deposit fee or the listing fees and successful sale fees. I do think that when we initially talked, the listing fees and the successful sale fees and access to deal flow is enough. I think that is enough to have a successful model, but having an additional DAO where the AcquireFi team will be acquiring, say, the top 3 or top 5% of deal flows that come through, and then kind of managing them for the AcquireFi holders, giving them a share ownership of these, cream products, is what kind of took it over to the top for me. That's what really made me realize the value of holding the AcquireFi token. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is something that I think is exciting, and I think brings a lot of value to the token.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what networks will you be operating on as far as crypto networks?
Just Ethereum at first, but we will do multi-chain eventually. I think doing Ethereum at first is the easiest because there's so many holders, but we're talking to a lot of different layer ones at the moment and trying to pick up the best one. But yeah, we're very open to discuss and basically to collaborate with different chains.
Yeah, I think ERC20 network is smart. So it's really, of course, the ERC20 network is expensive, but if your model is not reliant on people doing multiple transactions a day, meaning individuals, for example, like a hyper compounding type of platform, or a platform where you need to be doing multiple functions to claim small amounts of money, or this kind of thing, projects can be operational on the ERC20 network. And if you can be operational on the ERC20 network, that is where the majority of users are. So it does make sense. But yeah, I think, cross-chain is, it's important. You don't want to spread your liquidity too thin. So, I would just say, take your time with it. And as you see more opportunity to grow, look to potentially BSC, and, maybe Solana. But a lot of the other layer ones I'm not super excited about, but who knows? They could step up their game. And of course, if someone gives you a great offer, it may be worth working with anybody, essentially. So that's a smart
for
move.
sure. I think overall, like, you need a multi-chain escrow, and eventually, what we would like to do is that basically, if your funds are in escrow, you could pay with whatever tokens, and that would be the beauty of it. But that's like long-term thinking, and that would basically mean that, let's say, with your Animal Farm tokens, you could be paying some of these escrow fees and so forth, and that would again give more utility to the token, and basically we would collect more fees. But yeah, that's long-term thinking.
Yeah, I have a similar perspective on it. With some of my projects that I would like to go cross-chain with, I'm not so interested in spreading our liquidity to a ton of different chains. More so just providing a bridge or an opportunity for people to use outside chain assets to buy into whatever's going on the chain that we're active on. So I think that would be a smart move. Okay, so with the pre-sale specifically, when will you be essentially wrapping up the full race for the pre-sale, and when do you see you hitting the next points on your roadmap? For example, when your raise will be complete, when you start deploying contracts, when you will be live. I think you were saying Q4 this year is when you plan on actually going live. Is that when the Acquire.Fi asset will list, or if you could please give a little more information about your roadmap specifically?
Yeah, for sure. Brad, you can go first. I can go then.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so right now, obviously, we're doing the first rounds with the raise and getting going. If you look at our documentation, you'll notice that the roadmap here, the big things that we're going to be putting out here is the first version MVP that'll go live in August. So we're targeting like the third week of August to have the platform, which will be the DeFi platform, the marketplace, and our integrated deal flow. So I think probably by July, we're going to do TG&E. The people that jump in and can be liquidity providers will be the first to play. Token stakers will be able to engage the system as it's coming online and get that going for everybody. And you'll see that we roll out just one major M&A piece of the ecosystem and improvement and blockchain advance with each quarter after we've launched the MVP. So you'll see that there's on the roadmap, there's loans and lending. There's going to be full Web3 integration, proof of funds, IP licensing. We're going to create a due diligence bounty hunter program. So we'll allow people to interact with our platform as due diligence bounty hunters if they're an SME in some areas of companies that we're selling. As far as getting deeper into the multiple chain, that option's coming in 2023, the first delivery. And we're going to upgrade our escrow and make the marketplace fully decentralized. And all of this sort of crescendos, once we have this ecosystem built out, we're going to create our own fund and have an investment DAO that people can get in on. And then this fund really gets going once we have the full ecosystem and the fund growing to continue the investing. Jan, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just on the fundraising part, I think it's been going pretty well. We're talking with some Silicon Valley VCs and some other tier 1 VCs, but we're seeking more and more DAOs because we think the DAOs will eventually be one of the biggest buyers in this platform. About the MVP, it will be centralized though. It's not going to be decentralized right away. Decentralization will come probably later this year, Q1 next year. But yeah, just to clarify that.
Okay, so when will the Acquire.Fi asset be listed?
Oh, DGE is gonna be probably in August. Before that, we're gonna have probably July, where we're gonna basically do some. I think July, August are gonna be the target dates so far.
Okay, and then when your initial kind of centralized model has started up, will this be generating value for the Acquire.Fi token right away, or do we have to wait for the decentralized model?
No, absolutely, it will be generating right away. What's amazing already is that we don't have a platform; we just have a Telegram group, and we basically have a simple WordPress site, and we're basically getting already deal flow. This means that there is a product market fit already to the product, which is awesome. And the second thing is that we have already deals that I would say are going to the direction that they're going to be closing, which basically means that there might be already revenue coming in to basically Acquire.Fi before we even launched, which is quite astonishing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised, given the background that your team has and you have, I'm not surprised that you're able to secure deals. I would say that securing deals is one of the hardest parts of operating a DAO. Securing good deals. Of course, I get contacted all day, every day about people that want to raise funds for something. It's very rare to get good deals. Some of the network I've done over the past year has allowed me to secure access to good deals, such as this Acquire.Fi deal. And I know that you're linked into the same networks as I am, so I'm not surprised that you're getting good deals. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot of high quality raises in our DAO, and I'm sure that some of these raises that we'll do will be directly through working with your team and your platform. So it's exciting, and I'm not surprised.
Yeah, likewise. I think you've been very professional, to be honest. Like, when I say that, I don't say it lightly, because being here in crypto for 10 years, almost seen it all.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean,
You can
yeah,
imagine, man.
yeah, no, I get it all the time. It's crazy. Partnerships are something I'm very, very wary about. It's very risky to kind of lend your credibility to another person or another team. And yeah, it's always risky to do partnerships. And this is one of, I've done a few dozen pre-sale raises over I would say the course of me being a public figure in DeFi. The vast majority of them were before I deployed any of my own products. And this is one of the few raises
혹시
I've done
보시는 분들
for a
소리
third
잘
party
들리시나요?
since I've developed any of my own products. And there's a reason for that. I see this as a product that has true fundamental value and a team that has the ability to bring these ideas to market. So it's it's something that I jumped at the chance to be a part of. And I'm hoping that we can work together and really raise all ships, because I have a few ideas that I think I could lend that we could speak about privately to your platform. And of course, you will end up generating a lot of deals that I think we will be able to take advantage of. So if you have anything more to add, please do. And then I'm going to look right now to DAO members, see if any of them want to be unmuted. And also, if anybody in general has questions, you can post them in the chat and we'll get to them. But if you guys have anything specific you want to add before questions, please do. And we'll share all your links and all that stuff at the end. So, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I think partnerships and communicating with the community is very important. Something that we did right away was to engage with the community. I hate projects where you can't basically talk with the CEO or you can't talk with any of the higher level people. And that's something that we will strive to be. If you look at our chat so far and community, we've been very engaging. And I hope to keep that in line. And despite my mother tongue is not English, I hope that you guys understand me really well and what I'm trying to do. And Forex, thank you for having us here. And overall, I think this partnership overall is very beneficial for both parties.
Yeah, I agree. So right now I'm looking through to see if there's any questions. So you were saying that you just have a WordPress up site right now. When do you plan on having a fully basically a website up with your your Web3 model,
marketplace and everything? MVP will be on August for sure.
August.
I think
okay.
the closest that you guys can look at is Empire Flippers. I can write it down if you guys want, but basically we're gonna have kind of the same kind of UX from there. And also, if you guys know Republic.co, which is a crowdfunding platform, we're gonna copy some things from there. And I think copying these two top platforms that are very engaging in Web 2 will be very good for our own UX and our own tech stack overall.
Yeah, I agree. So let me look. I think we covered a lot. Let me see if there's any question. Okay, so someone is asking, is there still a chance to join the DAO tomorrow for the second first come first serve raise? Yes. All right. Yeah, there's a couple questions regarding this. So, yes, you can join the DAO. You have to join the DAO. Let's say by noon EST tomorrow, because there's a whitelisting process. The whitelisting process takes seconds, but we need to take this data from the whitelisting and import it into a contract. So it's all automated, and that takes a little bit of time. So I want to give us a couple hours before the raise to do that. So as long as you've joined the DAO and you are whitelisted, which the form is pinned in the DAO right now, you can access the deal. Now, we've already done the kind of guaranteed allocation portion of the raise, where everybody that was in the DAO previously got a guaranteed allocation because we limited the size of the allocation they could get small enough that there would be room for everybody in the deal. Now, the allocations are limited regardless to 10,000 USDC, meaning even if you've got in the previous raise and you're getting the max amount in the first come first serve raise, the sum of all the raise for any individual person cannot be higher than 10,000 USDC. That's because this raise is extremely exclusive and limited, and we want to ensure a fair and even distribution. This way, the token has the most positive price appreciation and the least centralization at launch, which is important to have a successful positive launch. And through working with the AcquireFi team, they've put a lot of emphasis in ensuring that we are doing a well-distributed raise. So that's something that, you know, I want to note and just point out that they are very cognitive about the dynamics of a launch and how you need to handle your raise to ensure or do your best to ensure positive price appreciation of the token. And then this is an asset that, yes, I do think there will be some hype and just, you know, pump solely based on hype. But this is more of a project that I see as a longer term hold that you can be confident in, that they will continue to develop and continue to work and add products and add services. And, you know, I think that it's a great product to invest in the bear market, because although they will get order flow in the bear market, I really see them kind of picking up to a new level when when everything starts trending up again and the excitement really starts building in the space. You know, that's when everybody wants to launch something, and they're going to be, I feel, one of the major marketplaces that developers can come in and sell something that they've built. So this is something that we needed in the space, and it's very, very cool that they're doing it. All right, so there's a couple more questions here. Most of the questions are about how they can get in the raise. So if you don't have enough capital to get into the DAO, I believe that they are going to have a public pre-sale raise. I'm not sure about this, but I believe they're going to be having a public pre-sale raise. It will be at a different price, and the allocations will be different, right? So the price will be higher, and the allocations will be smaller. But it is an opportunity for people to get into the pre-sale if you are not in one of these private groups that you kind of have to pay to get access to. And then, of course, at listing in August, you have an opportunity to buy at listing. And when you look at the tokenomics of their pre-sale raise, the pre-sale has significant vesting. Now, I believe it's fair vesting, and it's structured properly to make it very attractive to pre-sale buyers. But there is safety in mind to people that are buying at listing, to ensure that there's not some huge whales with way too many tokens ready to take profit right at launch, right? The vesting ensures that will not be the case. So if you do not get access to any of the pre-sales, you still have a major opportunity to buy at listing, which will be in August. And then, of course, as the project develops, you can continue to accumulate your share ownership of the platform. So that's what I would say. But now is a great time to join the DAO. So if you do want to access the pre-sale, you can do that. And there's links in the Reap chat right now. Let me see if there's any more questions.
I have one thing I want to say also. Like, we have brokers. I don't know if people know what the broker is, like M&A and so forth, but we actually give also profits, or we share our deal success fee with the brokers that come in with deals. So basically, if you have a big network and you're a big hustler, and you know that you have basically projects that want to sell, and you know buyers that want to basically buy, we'll happily share profit with you guys. And I think that's something that we try to incentivize as much as possible, because this is a marketplace. It means that there needs to be sellers and buyers. We've been very lucky so far with people coming to us and being like, hey, I want to sell my business and so forth. But I think overall, like if we want to eventually grow the ecosystem, and especially crypto ecosystem, we need brokers. And these brokers, during my time, for example, when OTC business was very big in 2016 and 2017, brokers were making a killing. A killing. I remember it was like 2 to 5% a deal.
Yeah.
So let's say like a business is selling for $1 million or $2 million, $3 million, and so forth, and there is actually appetite for that from traditional finance people. I just had a call yesterday with a very big shark from Canada. Basically, they're buying out different crypto businesses, and the valuation with that company was between $50 to $100 million what they wanted to buy. But there's a lot of smaller buyers also. And if our success fee is between, let's say, 5 to 15%, and you bring in a deal where you close $1 million deal, you get $100,000. That's a lot of money. That's a
Yeah.
lot of money. And I hope a lot of people from here understand, like, this whole M&A space, like buying and selling crypto businesses, is absolutely new. And something that last year the layer ones did really badly was that they were giving just grants to everyone. And there were a lot of devs that basically did copy pasta. They copied and did shit work. And I think these layer ones will eventually come also to us and be like, hey, we want to buy some businesses out. So if you are a broker and you have a large network of people, I would take that offer. We're very early on, and if you have a big network, you can leverage that really well.
Yeah. So before I developed any of my own products, when I was handling a lot of pre-sale raises for larger development teams, I started an escrow group just to basically take advantage of my trust equity in the space. And I was handling a lot of escrow deals for some large players in the space just because they trusted me as an independent third party to ensure that everything went well. And of course, I charged a percentage fee, and I made a lot of money doing that. And that's something that if I had more time or a bit more resources, I would continue. And I think what your platform allows for is for people that want to be able to do escrow deals to have a trusted third party that is focused specifically on this deal flow and also has a semi automated system to allow for these deals to happen in a liquid fashion. So there's definitely a lot of demand for that and a lot of money to be made. And of course, in my case, I was able to do it just based on the trust equity that I built up in the space. But someone could utilize your platform to basically run escrow deals and do deal flow and use the built-in trustless model of your platform and use that as their tool as a broker and make a fee just like I did, essentially borrowing your trustless model so they don't have to be the trusted third party. So for sure there's a lot of opportunity in that, and I could see people making a lot of money doing that.
I think,
So
yeah, I think something that we did with Paxful really well was the trust system itself and basically review system. So basically, in the old school ways, when there was no basically on and off ramps, the only way to buy Bitcoin was basically through peer to peer. And how to build that trust was basically with the score system. And
Yeah.
the more trades you did, the better score you had, and the better score you had, the more business you got. And I think that will eventually happen with M&A also, and especially with brokers. But also with the brokers, I have to say, like, hey, like there's a lot of different investment opportunities. And I know that despite there's young people here, your network might have some very good investment opportunities that might be very interesting to us. So if you guys have any investment opportunities, please reach out. Like, we're always there. And I think that's very important.
Yeah. Okay. Someone is asking, how much is the hard cap of your total pre-sale raise? And also, if you want to break down how it's allocated through the different rounds.
Yeah, for sure. So $7 million is the hard cap at the moment. And I think because of this basically downturn, we're gonna be good with $5 to $6 million. We're not gonna go up from that. We might put the hard cap eventually to $5 million because we're seeing that we don't need that much money. The fully diluted valuation on launch is going to be $40 million, and the initial market cap is going to be 200,000. So it's going to be very low market cap at launch, which basically means that the multiplier eventually will be quite high.
Okay, so yeah, I would say less is probably better with the raise, and allow the majority of that capital to come in at listing, in price appreciation. So we're handling a large portion of the seed round, and I think the majority, or almost the majority, of the first private round deal. So we have the best possible price you could get in this project with the DAO, and there's very few other groups that are going to have access to these rounds because we're handling the majority of it. So the majority of the allocation. So, if you're interested, the DAO is the best place you want to get access to it right now. And you can look in the Reap chat right now. We have links to it. So someone's asking about real gold mining projects. If someone had I guess they're asking probably about some sort of gold back DeFi project. I'm sure the answer would be yes. If they had a model that makes sense, that involves some kind of gold mining, you would allow it to be listed. I think the issue with that kind of thing is oracles. So if you're going to have something that is reliant on the work of some third party that is trying to sell or mine some some non-digital asset, you need some kind of oracle to ensure that the data that they're feeding is accurate, or else it's really I don't really see too much of a reason for that to even be on a blockchain, right? If you're relying on some centralized third party to give you the data and it's not verifiable by anything on chain, you need some sort of oracle there to handle that, which I don't think we have right now to do that effectively. But I think in the future we could have something like that. Oracles is a big issue when it comes to like a hard assets, like non-digital assets, and trying to ascribe value to them on chain, because you're reliant on essentially a third party that may or may not be trustworthy, that's giving the data based on how much of these assets they hold, what kind of value they have, what is the condition and quality of these assets. It's a big oracle issue that really hasn't been worked out, but there are projects that are working on it, and it is possible to do something like that. We see there's another platform that is allowing for people to, for example, if you buy an NFT on their platform, they're handling a lot of celebrity NFT raises. And for example, if you buy one of these celebrity NFTs, you get a ticket to their backstage concert. The company that is selling the NFTs is holding the plane tickets and the backstage tickets in escrow and kind of handling that. So it can be done, but it does involve centralization. But anyways, I'm sure, right? You would do something like that if it made sense.
Yes, of course. And one thing to consider.
You cut out. I don't know if it's me or you. You said one thing to consider and then cut out.
Okay, I think Brad is out.
Yeah.
He's in Nicaragua at the moment. But yeah, you're absolutely correct with the oracles and so forth. But we're gonna be a little bit centralized. I think being fully, I think
It's okay.
being fully decentralized is always not a good thing.
Well,
as
no,
we saw
yeah.
with
Yeah.
Luna, for example.
No one is fully decentralized. Well, actually, with Luna, you know, yeah, I mean, they had a centralized model to determine when their Bitcoin was sold. I mean, you know, speaking about Luna, they had issues all the way from the ground up. So,
Yes. Yes.
you know, but yeah, I mean, no project is fully decentralized. There's always some kind of There's always some kind of centralized element to it, and that's why it's important to do research on what the team that's running the project, you know, who they have on board, what they've done in the past. And that's one of the things that attracted me to your project, because I know that there's no such thing as a fully decentralized project, and I want to work with developers that have a strong track record of success and have a team built that can get the job done. And I think that you guys are in a position to do that. So someone is asking what the max contribution for tomorrow is. It's going to be $5,000. So, or sorry, 5,000 USDC. That will be the max contribution for tomorrow. And what that means is that people that got in at the first round, they had a 5,000 USD C hard cap, and they have an opportunity tomorrow to buy 5,000 USDC more. Now, if everybody that was in the first raise buys max, it's going to sell out very quickly, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen. But there is room here, and also potentially, you know, I could talk with them about getting a slightly larger allocation if we need to get a slightly larger allocation. But I would say don't wait, because if we do get a slightly larger allocation, likely it will be at a higher price and the per person caps will be smaller. So if you want a max allocation size at the best possible price, which we're getting a very, very solid price, right? We're getting it significantly under listing, significantly under the other rounds. There's vesting involved, but the vesting is done properly and it's on par with all the other rounds. So we're getting a great price. Our vesting is essentially the same as all the other rounds, and it's a long-term hold for me anyways. So this is something I want to buy at the best possible price and hold it for, you know, a couple years and take advantage of the value that my tokens are giving me through access to deal flow and that kind of thing. So all right, guys. Someone's asking if it's still 300 REAP to join. Yes, it's 300 REAP to join the DAO. There's a tax. There's a 2% tax associated with REAP, a 1% distribution where it gets distributed to all holders, you know, reflectively, and a 1% burn. So make sure you buy at least 307 REAP just to be sure that you have enough after the tax and after slippage. And I think that's it. I think any other questions we can answer here. I don't want to hold you guys up. I know you guys have a lot of work to do, as do I. So I really appreciate you guys being here and answering the questions, and I'm looking forward to doing work with you. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you for having us, and look forward to seeing you in our community.
Okay, so I'm gonna post links to all of your social media and all of that stuff. If you could just forward it to me in our side group, and then I will forward it, you know, in this group and around to the various communities that I work with.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll talk in a bit. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Cheers.
자,
네, 끝났고요. AcquireFi는 쉽게 블록체인 프로젝트 및 플랫폼에 대한 M&A 서비스를 제공하는 곳입니다. 아직 뭐 상장이 되거나 한 건 없지만 운영되고 있는 서비스 자체는 딜플로우라고 있고요. 네, 딜플로우라는 채널이 별도로 운영 중이에요. 이미 거기에서 설명드린 것처럼 이미 본인의 프로젝트를 매도하고자 하는 사람들은 그 정보를 Acquire.Fi에 제출하고 Acquire.Fi는 그 정보를 여기에 공시하고 공시된 정보를 보고 매수하려는 뭐 투자사든 개발자든 프로젝트 팀이든 간에 Acquire.Fi 팀에게 접근을 해서 문의하고 거래를 지원해주는 뭐 조율하고 지원해주는 역할들을 하겠죠. 그리고 유저 자체는 우리 같은 일반 유저 같은 경우는 토큰 ACQ 티커를 가진 토큰이 곧 현재는 이제 프리세일 펀딩 진행 중이고 이 토큰이 상장이 되면은 해당 토큰을 통해서 다양한 활동을 하게 되는데 주요한 활동은 이 Acquire.Fi 플랫폼에서 진행되는 거래에 대해서 우선적으로 접근할 수 있게 열어줍니다. 그래서 포렉스가 운영 중인 다오방을 통해서 현재는 프리세일이 가능하고 내일은 선착순 프리세일, 포렉스 다오 팀이 받은 물량 중 잔여 펀딩에 대한 선착순 프리세일이 진행될 예정입니다. 뭐 립다오 조인하고 그런 내용들은 저희 애니멀팜이나 드립방에서 많이 봤었고 뭐 엄청 복잡한 내용은 안 다뤘고 이렇게 마무리가 됐네요. 이상으로 마치겠습니다.